Welcome back, horror fans, cinephiles, and giallo enthusiasts. This is Tanner Leeser, your host for all things giallo here on The King and Giallo. Today, we're taking a look at one of the most fascinating releases to come from Vinegar Syndrome's Labs line, Ténèbres Françaises, a collection of 4 French thrillers that constantly flirt with giallo territory while retaining a distinctly French identity. Well, let's waste no time and get right into it. Here is Ténèbres Françaises. Overview. French cinema has always had a unique relationship with genre filmmaking. While Italy was developing the giallo and Germany was producing the crimi, France often approached suspense from a different angle, less concerned with strict genre conventions and more interested in psychology, obsession, moral ambiguity, and human dysfunction. The result is a body of films that don't always qualify as gialli, yet often feel remarkably familiar to fans of the genre, occupying that strange territory where noir, psychological drama, mystery, and giallo all seem to overlap. This collection brings together 4 such films: Qui, Nuit d'Or, Les Cousines, and Le Secret. The first film in the set is Qui, or Who, also called The Sensuous Assassin, released on September 23, 1970. The film is written and directed by Léonard Keigel, with dialogue by Paul Keigel. The film stars Romy Schneider as Marina, Maurice Ronet as Serge, and giallo veteran Gabriele Tinti as Claude. The plot begins when Marina and her boyfriend Claude are traveling along the Brittany coast. Following an argument, Claude recklessly accelerates their car along the cliffside roads before plunging into the sea below. Marina manages to escape, but Claude disappears beneath the water and is presumed dead. In the aftermath, Marina becomes acquainted with Claude's brother Serge, who soon falls in love with her. Yet as their relationship deepens, unsettling questions begin to surface. Why does Marina constantly feel as though someone is watching her? Why do her actions and reactions seem to raise more questions than answers? Did Claude truly die in the crash, or is he somehow still alive? And perhaps most troubling of all, is Marina really an innocent survivor, or was she somehow involved in Claude's apparent death? As suspicion, uncertainty, and conflicting possibilities accumulate, Qui transforms a seemingly straightforward tragedy into an engrossing mystery where neither the characters nor the audience can ever be entirely certain of the truth. Of the 4 films in this collection, Who is probably the closest to a traditional giallo. It has a central mystery, unreliable memories, hidden motives, suspicious characters, and an ever-present sense that the truth is just beyond reach. Add in a beautiful score by Claude Bolling and a terrific lead performance by Romy Schneider, and you have what is arguably the most accessible film in this set. The second film is Nuit d'Or, or Golden Night, released on October 1st, 1976. The film is written and directed by Serge Moati and co-written by Françoise Verny. The film stars Klaus Kinski as Michel Fournier, Marie Dubois as Véronique, Maurice Ronet as Nuit d'Or, and Bernard Blier as Commissaire Pedieu. The plot follows Michel Fournier, a man who returns after being declared dead, determined to torment the family members who betrayed him. Convinced that his niece, Catherine, is actually his own daughter, Michel kidnaps her and begins a bizarre campaign of revenge against those he believes have wronged him. Delivering voodoo dolls to his enemies and warnings of their fate, he wages a psychological war against his family while drawing the attention of a police commissioner who is determined to find him. Yet the commissioner's pursuit is far from impartial, as he helped Michel's relatives bury the scandal surrounding his apparent death and has his own reasons for wanting the matter resolved quietly. But is Michel truly a wronged man seeking justice, or a dangerous and unstable figure whose family had good reason to fear him? Did his relatives try to eliminate him to conceal their own crimes, or were they protecting themselves from a man suspected of murdering a young girl? And what role does the mysterious Golden Knight organization play in the growing web of secrets surrounding Michel's past? As hidden relationships, betrayals, and long-buried resentments come to light, Nuit unfolds as a surreal and deeply unsettling thriller, where every answer seems to raise even more questions. This is easily the strangest film in the collection. It often feels less like a conventional thriller and more like a fever dream filtered through noir sensibilities. Pierre Jansen's score, the film's dreamlike visuals, and Kinski's uniquely unpredictable screen presence combine to create something genuinely unsettling. The third film is Les Cousines, also known as The Cousins, The French Cousins, or From Ear to Ear, and released on September 25, 1970. The film is written and directed by Louis Soulanes, based on a novel, The Perverse Woman's Night, written by Fletcher D. Benson. The film stars Solange Pradel as Lucille, Nicole Debonet as Elisa, and Daniela Argentz as Josina. The plot follows Lucille, a young woman left mute and paralyzed after a childhood trauma. Living with her sister Josina and their cousin Elisa, Lucille spends her days trapped in a household where she is treated less like a person than a burden. As their mother worries about mounting expenses and the complications that will arise once Lucille reaches legal adulthood, Josine and Elisa devote themselves to lives of drugs, sexual excess, and reckless self-indulgence. Yet simple hedonism is not enough for them. Increasingly, they turn their attention toward Lucille herself, subjecting their helpless victim to a series of cruel psychological and physical torments for their own amusement. But how far are Josina and Elisa willing to go in pursuit of even darker thrills? And what happens when two women with no conscience are given complete power over someone who cannot speak, cannot escape, and cannot defend herself? As the cruelty escalates and the household grows more toxic, Les Cousines becomes a disturbing portrait of sadism, dependency, and moral decay. Even by the standards of early 1970s European cinema, Les Cousines remains a remarkably uncomfortable viewing experience. It is cruel, provocative, and intentionally unpleasant, but that discomfort is exactly what gives the film its power. Rather than focusing on murder or mystery, the film derives its tension from sustained psychological cruelty and moral decay. The fourth and final film in the collection is Le Secret, or The Secret, released on October 9th, 1974. The film is written and directed by Robert Enrico, with dialogue by Pascal Jardin, and based upon a novel, Le Compagnon Indésirable, Undesirable Company, by Francis Reich. Music is composed by the Italian maestro Ennio Morricone. The film stars Jean-Louis Trintignant as David, Marlene Jobert as Julia, and Philippe Noah as Thomas. The plot follows David, a frightened fugitive who suddenly appears at the rural home of a quiet couple, Thomas and Julia. Believing he is in danger, they agree to shelter him from the authorities, but as the nationwide search for David intensifies, so too do the mysteries surrounding him. David claims powerful forces are hunting him and insists that his life is at stake, yet his explanations grow increasingly strange and difficult to verify. Is David the victim of a vast conspiracy, or a deeply disturbed man gripped by paranoia? Can Thomas and Julia trust the desperate stranger they have taken into their home, or are they placing themselves in danger by helping him? As suspicions mount and loyalties are tested, Le Secret becomes a tense and thought-provoking thriller built around uncertainty, trust, and the fear of not knowing whom to believe. Unlike the other films in the set, Le Secret leans most heavily into conspiracy thriller territory. The suspense doesn't come from murders or shocking revelations, but from uncertainty. Is David genuinely being pursued by powerful forces, or is he simply a deeply troubled man unraveling before our eyes? The film builds tension through character dynamics and psychological ambiguity, resulting in one of the most compelling and mature entries in the collection. let's talk about the release itself. Vinegar Syndrome has assembled this collection as a 2-disc Region A Blu-ray set featuring newly restored presentations of all 4 films sourced from studio-supplied masters. All 4 films include newly translated English subtitles, while The Secret also includes an English-language mono option. The package is rounded out with reversible sleeve artwork and a solid selection of archival supplemental features. The bonus material is understandably centered on the film's creators and their production histories. The Secret receives the most extensive treatment, with multiple archival interviews featuring director Robert Enrico and stars Marlène Jobert, Philippe Noir, and Jean-Louis Trintignant, filmed on location in both the Landes and Ardèche regions. The set also includes a French television interview with Jobert and a Belgian television featurette devoted to the film's release and production. Golden Night is represented by an archival Belgian television interview with director Serge Moati and actress Marie Dubois, while The Cousins includes an interview with film historian Christophe Beer, who provides additional historical context for one of the collection's most provocative and challenging films. Also included is a substantial booklet featuring essays and production information on all 4 films. For a collection built around relatively obscure and often overlooked titles, the booklet is a particularly welcome addition, offering valuable background on the productions and helping place them within the broader history of French thriller cinema. It's exactly the sort of extra that boutique releases should include, something that not only enhances the viewing experience, but also helps preserve and document films that many viewers may be discovering for the first time. What makes this release special is not that these films are hidden masterpieces waiting to be rediscovered. Rather, it demonstrates how fluid genre boundaries can be. These are French thrillers, certainly, but they are also mysteries, psychological dramas, noir exercises, conspiracy films, and, in some cases, works that come remarkably close to being giallo without ever fully crossing the line. My final thoughts. This is exactly the kind of release that boutique labels should be championing. These films have remained largely inaccessible for decades, yet each offers a unique perspective on suspense cinema during a fascinating period of French filmmaking. Whether you're a fan of giallo, psychological thrillers, French cinema, or simply obscure genre history, this collection offers 4 compelling reasons to step outside the usual canon and explore something new. And that's my product review of Ténèbres Françaises, available from Vinegar Syndrome. If you've seen the films, let me know what you think, and if you have the box set, what are your own thoughts on the release, and how do you rank the films yourself? Do you think these French thrillers are worthy to be discussed in giallo conversations? Check out my unscripted talking head movie review videos covering the individual films from this box set. Thank you for your continued support. This is Tanner Leeser for TheKingInGiallo, and if nothing else, I'll see you next time.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
Action, please.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.